I'm going to show you some things of people's belongings. I'm here at my parents' house. My parents are in their mid-70s, and they've lived at this house since 1977. And this is their house. As you can see, the water line was halfway up the house. And yes, they had flood insurance, and yes, it's Allstate, and yes, we have not settled with them, and yes, they haven't given us any idea of direction, and they're saying it could be 3 or 4 more months. That's what it's like to have flood insurance. If you notice, all of their belongings of 50 years plus is in their front yard. They call this debris. I call this memories. How's his hair looking?
Sweetie, we both look like run.
Rained on.
I was gonna say we both look like we've been run over by trucks.
Chuck-a-doo.
Welcome to Ascension Parish Coffee Talk, a weekly show where I typically talk about nothing but Ascension Parish. In August 2016, Ascension Parish, along with Livingston Parish and East Baton Rouge Parish, saw more water than we ever seen, and they said, what, 1,000-year flood?
Yeah.
I am ill-equipped to talk about the experience of the flood since I wasn't personally affected, but my good friend Sondra here was. And
yeah, along with a bunch of other people.
With a bunch of other people. So we thought that the best way to share as a tribute to the people that were affected by the flood was to tell some of their stories. Sondra, you got to meet some really great people, and I wanted you to...
Yeah, I did. Really good people, you know, people I didn't know these people, and just when the flood come in and affected my house and my family along with my parents, it was pretty overwhelming, you know. And the only thing I knew to do, because at the time, people's phones went down. Like if you were with AT&T, your phone didn't work.
Yeah, for weeks afterwards.
Yeah, only Verizon's who I'm with, and that worked a lot. So because the only reason, you know, you hear about it, but my parents were sitting right beside me and their phones didn't work. Other people who were with AT&T, their phones didn't work. So the only thing I knew to do and to talk about it was through Facebook and social media, because that's one thing you always can do is go out.
You got a friend with you.
No.
The dogs always come to me.
I guess she wants to sit in on the interview.
Yeah.
But, thank you, Aspen, thank you very much. But, so that's what I did. I just started being an advocate for everybody. As much information as I could grab and grasp and get a hold of, I just spread it through social media, and it went crazy.
It really did. One of your videos, you didn't even know it, but I looked it up and it had like 578,000 views. It was
crazy.
Yeah, but you really were a voice for people because the media wasn't presenting this. In the national media, it was like a blip on the news, and it was days afterwards.
We're not even talking, you know, a week, 2 weeks. I mean, like you said, it was just a couple of days after we were declared by our president at that time a disaster zone, and it was like the media outside here they just forgot who we were.
They really did.
They didn't, because you call and you look at, you know, I can't get this bill paid. I'm prolonging this bill and that bill while you're trying to figure things out. They're like, for what? What disaster did y'all have down there in Louisiana?
They don't even know.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Aspen. It was cray-cray.
She didn't like it. Were your dogs affected by the flood at all?
Oh, Lord, yeah. You know, actually, when all this was coming in, we got up early that morning and went to Livingston Parish, went to Denham Springs to help some other people that we knew were going to flood. And then I tried to get out of Livingston back into EBR to help my parents, because I knew they were going to flood. And we were picking them up just to go to our house, and then I couldn't get to my house. It was like, no, this can't be happening. I don't have flood insurance. I'm not required to have it. I live in flood zone X, you know.
Like many other people.
Yeah.
You flooded.
So.
But you got to meet some really neat people along the way. Some amazing people that have incredible stories.
Oh man, like
we could only touch and scratch the surface of just a couple people that were willing to talk to us today, and I went home crying. You know that.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's been really tough in the beginning here when it all happened in the first 2 weeks, I cried a lot, did what I had to do, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, that I have this inner strength that, you know what, if you're still vertical, you can do something.
Absolutely.
And you can change. You just have to learn to find the positive out of all the negative, because there's a reason this happened. Well, I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. He knows what it is, but ain't nobody else knows what it is. So, and you got to find the positive out of everything that's being hit with you. That's it's just so negative. And you can stay down in the ruts, and I didn't want to do that. I'm very opposite. I tackled it. I got angry. I got sad. You know, I didn't, but I never got depressed. I can actually say I never got depressed. I got more angry. So then, you know, some people say you get angry, you want to get even. That's kind of how the attitude that I took for the water. I'm like, you're not gonna let you destroy my parents' house. I'm not gonna let you destroy their spirits. I'm not gonna let you destroy my family and my spirits, and boom, boom. So I just grasped it and turned it around and went out there on social media, and anything I could find out about FEMA, people without flood insurance, shelter at home, LA recovery flood money that the state has that quote unquote is supposed to help us. Anything that I could find out, that's what I did. Somebody out there called me the Cajun news lady.
You are the Cajun news lady, yeah.
The Cajun news lady.
Yeah.
Thought that was cute.
And in the midst of all this, you know, you still found humor and tried to make it.
Oh yeah.
You had, you know.
Yeah, because you know, people. This happened in the Katrina Rita time in 2005. Because I've been an agent for well over 22 years, and you know, when a disaster happens, and this was in the lower part of New Orleans of the state, they still rely on real estate agents. They all lost their homes down there with the big flood, like big Super Bowl, right? And so they were calling. I'll never forget. I was working at a different agency at that time. I gave up my house to 3 families that finally found themselves, and they moved into my home, and I moved out of my home, and I slept on the floor at my real estate office, and was averaging about 800 calls a day. People that were, you know, asking us, you know, what is the area like? It's hard to say all that, but you know, you were helping so many people. So I felt it was the same way in the 2016 flood here. There were so many people asking, okay, Sondra, what do we do? How do we do this? And I didn't know, but I got out there and figured it out.
Yeah.
I tackled it.
Well, we all did. As realtors, we all did.
Yeah.
I got a big learning lesson because I wasn't here for Katrina, so I didn't know.
Well, we're still getting learning lessons.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
The way these houses have been
Put back together.
put back together.
Quickly.
Yep, and how some of them.
Cut corners.
Yep. Bad contractors.
Oh, man, that's really. How can somebody do that? I still cannot comprehend to this day how you got, you know, it can be elderly people, it can still be young ones, but especially the elderly who have worked all their lives, put their savings in, and then they lose their home, and then on top of that they want to rebuild. Some of them did rebuild their home, but then the contractor comes in and takes their first and only check.
Yep.
You know, we need half down. I mean, you got $80,000 worth of damage, we're gonna take you 40 grand from you.
That happened.
And then they don't show back up.
That
And now
happened.
these people don't have any money. So I don't see how people can do that during a time of desperation
Greed.
and greed. Money's a funny thing.
Yeah, it makes people crazy.
Money evil.
It can be if the wrong people.
I think Aspen likes you.
Well, I'm a dog person. So I'm a dog.
Have a seat.
Have a seat. Be a lady.
Sit down right here. You want a microphone?
Well,
What's the mic?
gonna-
Okay, thank you.
we're gonna go ahead and show you some of the people that we spoke to over the last couple of days about their experience since the flood of 2016. And Sondra was nice enough to introduce us to some of her friends. And I appreciate you taking the time to interview all those people, and
No problem.
I
No
appreciate
problem.
the people that were willing
Yes.
to get on camera and talk about their stories, because they're heart-wrenching, really.
Yeah, they are, especially when we went to Mr. Pence's house. You know, he had lost his wife like 3 weeks prior to the 1 year anniversary here. But that was my 19th funeral to attend since the flood. So there was extremely
After effect.
Oh man, there was, you know, some people. There was and I'll leave them nameless, but there was a couple. That the husband, he just killed himself, so he couldn't carry on with his family and figure out how to get out of this rut. So
It was, this past year has been crazy.
Tough.
It's been devastating. Still is to this. That's why we're doing this, is
Yes.
to show people across the United States that have contacted me, because there's a guy that wrote a book. I'm still in the process of almost through reading it, but he wrote a book, and I'm in it a couple times, and it's talking about hope and faith and how you can pull together in a community. And that was one thing here in Louisiana that we did. And
You
look,
know, as devastating as that was, nothing made my heart feel so like big about this area. Like, so thankful, because we as a community, were affected or not affected, people came out of the woodwork to help. Good people.
Oh, that's-
And you didn't even know their names, half of them. You know, you didn't even know who they were. I mean, my husband was out there, you know, we all did stuff. Nobody, you just helped. People just got together, got in their trucks and did what they could.
because
They
where are
gave-
you from?
Originally, Plymouth, Massachusetts.
So you're from up north.
Yeah, it's a little
And
different.
so the southern hospitality that we have here, you know, this state has the best food.
Best
A
food.
little prejudice on that part of it. You know, Louisiana got some good food there. But all of, you know, from here to Louisiana, I mean, from Louisiana to Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, the southern hospitality is unreal. But
I
right
don't think
here,
anything surpasses right here.
right
Nothing
here
is like,
was just, I mean, it didn't matter. It
it's,
didn't matter.
It's like something you
people
would
were there.
read or see in a movie.
Right.
It's just unbelievable. How the compassion and just, you know, and nobody wants anything from you. They just want to know that they did right by you. And
That's
I just
right.
love that. I love that about our community.
That's right. We still got that.
We
Oh,
do. We do. I'd like to say a very special thank you to Sondra Richard for allowing me to interview her today, and her to interview all the people that were affected by the 2016 flood. Do you want to leave anybody with anything?
Oh, look, we still have a long recovery road ahead. We still got some obstacles to turn over, and hopefully things will get better. Who knows? But right now it's still a day to day, week to week, month to month process. But the good thing is, I've had this saying all my life, and a lot of people around here have heard it. If you're vertical, you're doing good.
Yeah. You ain't 6 feet under.
That's what they tell me. So hey, see,
still
we're
getting
doing
up there.
good. We're doing good. I'm doing good.
That's
But yeah, really, seriously, thank you for having me on your show and talking. And it was hopefully a good experience for you that get to meet all those people. And you really got to see how we went to that house, and it was just in my neighborhood on the next street over, and it was, you know, jacked up, elevated, like they said. it had
The
to be
bugs
done.
were what freaked me out.
And then the last lady, over at Linda, her house. I mean, look.
I had things.
She talked about the bugs too, and how the spiders. She got unknown spiders she'd never seen before. But yeah, there's some really, there's some weird bugs.
There's some bugs. I was at that house and I'm like, there's things biting me through my pants. What is going on?
It's not me, it's the bugs.
I swear, it was crazy. It was crazy. Well, thank you again. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Boots on.
Try again.
Okay, let's see. Something I can play. Let me think of it. I can't play, they're all stuck together. Give me a minute for your video.